Everyone, so welcome to my YouTube channel. So here today we are going to be proving logs. So how do you prove logs? So let's begin with our first question. So let's have so if you're new to this channel, kindly like, subscribe and share for more. So the first one is the log of base b. We have rs should be equal to, we have the log of r base b, then we have plus the log of plus the log of s base b, like that. So what we are going to do is this. We are going to to prove, we have to just come up with this same exact expression, but we are going to use these separate entities. So what we are going to do is we are going to so since we have b there, let's let our x be equal to the log of base b of r, and we are going to let our y be equal to the log of our s base b, like that. From here we are going to express it in terms of the exponential form. So remember, this one that is attached to the log, it will be the base, so it will be b to the power x is equal to r. Likewise, even this one, it will go there, so we are going to have our b to the power of y there should be equal to our s. From here, what we are going to do is, since we are adding this, we multiply. So since we are adding this, we are going to multiply. So when we multiply this, we are going to have our b times our b to the power y should be equal to r times our s, which is going to give us, we keep one base and add the powers, should be equal to r times s, it is rs, like that. So this is what we have done. So now remember, this expression is beginning with the rs here, so this can be written as, this is just the same, rs is equal to b x plus y, like that. So what we're going to have is, we're going to say, since b is here, and once we eliminate it, we are going to introduce log b here. Rs should be equal to, again, log of b down there, then we have b x plus y. So according to the rules of logs, this comes there. So we are going to have, first we have log of b, rs should be equal to x plus y, like that. Then we have the log of our b there. So we are going to have, we have our log of our b, rs should be equal to, we have our log of b base b. Remember, if you have the log of any, if you have, let's say 5, this is equal to 1. As long as the base and that number is the same, then it is equal to 1. So we are going to have our x plus y times 1, which one won't change anything. So this is what we have. Then remember, we have just introduced, we said that our x is equal to this. So this is what we said. So all we have to do is replace. So we are going to have the log of our b, rs, where there is x, we are going to say this is equal to the log of b, r. Then we have plus y is equal to log of b, like that. So this is what we have for that problem. So this is the answer that was required. So we have hence shown. Let's move on to our next one. It says that we have the log of our base a over b should be equal to the log of our a of a minus the log of our a of b. So same approach. So we are going to let these separate entities, let x be equal to, we have our log of a, like that. Then we have our b be equal to, we are going to say the log of not b, but yeah, since b is already there, so we can get any entity that is not showing in the equation. So our y to be equal to the second part. Then what we are going to do is this. We are going to say we're going to say express this as an exponential. So this comes here, so we're going to have a to the power x is equal to just a there. Same with this one, comes here, you're going to have a to the power y should be equal to b, like that. Now remember, here we have minus and a and b are dividing, so what you're going to do is you're going to divide. So we have our a to the power x over a to the power y should be equal to a divided by our b, like that. So this is going to give us our a, pick one base, subtract the powers, which should be equal to a over our b, like that. So this is what we have. Then what we are going to do is, from there, we are going to introduce the log of a on both numbers. So we have the log of a, we even want to cancel it, so we have the log of a, then we have this should be equal to the log of a over b. So remember, this is the first part, so we can just interchange, which is still the same. Log of a over b should be equal to the log of x minus y. So we are going to drop this power, so we have the log of our a over b should be equal to x minus y. Then we have the log of our a base a, like that, of which we know that this is 1, so we have x minus y times our 1, which won't change anything. So we have this, then we have the log of our a over our b. So we know that our x, remember, our x value is equal to this. Let's just lift it. So we have, where there is x, we're going to say the log of a over b should be equal to, where there is x, we're going to put log of a, then we have minus the log of a of b, like that. So remember, this was the required expression, like that. So this was the required expression. So all we have to do is say hence shown. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you would like, subscribe and share for more. See you in the next tutorial.